Greetings out there in YouTube land. This is Morris Man, and as always, I thank you guys for coming to my channel. I'm going to entitle this, I guess, another observations video, because I had a lot of people say, "Man, I like those observation videos. You're quite humorous when it comes to you explaining about your day and interacting with other people." So they say keep it coming. So I'll do that. So today is today's observation, August the 16th, 2022. And I wrote a little list down because sometimes when I shoot these, I'm like, tag, I forgot to include that. So this one is, I'm not giving any names, but my friend Joe, who passed away almost a year and a half ago. He has a sister. And I look at her as like a mom figure. And, I said to myself, I do my best to help her since Joe is no longer here with us. And I miss him dearly. I really do. So I'm going to entitle this video, When You Give People an Inch, They Want a Whole Mile, And like I told you, I try to help everybody that I care about, because I know that the few people that I call friends would do the same for me. So she had called me, week from week we call and check in on each other, how you doing, how things in your world. So she called me the day before yesterday, and I returned the call because my phone was off. And when I called her, she said, I said, how you doing? She said, I'm all right. I'm waiting for my nephew to come and take me to the bank because somebody had, sent her a check. And she said he's coming from another state. It's not real far, but it's a good little distance. And the bank is just 5 blocks down the street. I said, Darlene, I'll take you. Call your nephew so when he don't have to burn all that expensive ass gas now, to come way out here just to drag you 5 blocks. I got you. She said, okay, thank you. So I hung up, and apparently she called him and said, don't worry about it. Morris man gonna take me. So I get there in less than about 15 minutes. I put a little gas in the car because my truck drinks gas like it's Kool-Aid. And also, for those who don't know this, every time there's a price increase, they put gas in the water. They put water in the gas. I'm not kidding you, because I pay close attention to things, especially my gas gauge. And I'm like, why is it way down here now yesterday when I put gas in it? So I put $5 in it just to hold me until the next day or 2 days because I don't go anywhere. A couple of days after, we could take my wife to the train station, which is close, and that's it. And maybe I go to the store, but I didn't have any plans on going to get to the store. So I'm like, $5 would do. And let me just say this before I continue that. I just seen this on the news the other day. The gas companies or industry had a record-breaking in sales this year. I'm like, wait a minute. They made more money this year during the pandemic. People done lost their jobs. People done died. They having a good year. And the reason why they having a good year, because whenever something like this happens, companies find a reason to jack up shit. Really, it's like this was $2 yesterday, now it's $12. Because I've never complained and noticed about buying groceries. Never in my entire life. And I've been fortunate enough not to be broke none of my entire life. So if it's just a few dollars in increase, it's no big deal to me. I notice it, but it's just little. But I start to notice, I go to this store 2 years ago before the pandemic, and I would never spend no more than about $30 in that store because I go down the street to the other store to stock up. So one day I go in there, that'd be $60. $60 fucking dollars. Okay. And that's everybody raised their shit because of the pandemic, want to blame it on that, So the gas company had record sales this year. So that means they selling more gas for a higher price with water in it. So I gassed up. Well, let me just say this because I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I had to mention that gas thing. Just today, I had a certain amount of gas in my tank. I went up to get tacos, which ain't too far. And when I went up there, then I put my key in the ignition. My shit on E. I'm like, I'm going to get that device that I've seen where it slows down your gas burning consumption because my Hyundai drives like a dream, and it doesn't burn a lot of gas, and it's a bigger car, technically bigger engine, So I took her up there to the bank. Then she said this. Let me see what else I need. Huh? I thought that I was just running you up here. You know, not now this is an opportunity to put me in chauffeur mode and drive you all over the place. So I ended up driving into another state to get grocery for her. I'm like, okay, now see, this was not in the plans. And I'm saying to myself, my mother, who God rest her soul, she passed away several years ago, she wouldn't have even done that. And I'm like, you got carte blanche, mama, to ask me to take you wherever you want. You know, I don't have a problem with that. You my mama, I love you. But someone else that now, since I got you here, let me, you know, it's kind of foul to me because I'm like, you know, my intentions and the agreement is just to run you up 5 blocks and then you bring you back, not drive 10 miles away. You know, like I said, gas is ridiculous and all that water. So I put 5 in there earlier that day, took up to the bank, and then I ran an unscheduled errand for her, which is not a big deal. Then in the morning, I take my wife to the train station. I put my key in the ignition to get back home. My fucking gas gauge on. Boom. You know, I'm like, what? I'm not going anywhere. And my shit on E all the time, you know? So I'm like, ain't this a bitch? You know? So I told her, because, you know, she pays this other guy to run her errands. I said, one day out the month, what I'll do is I'll take you to Aldi's because you're on a fixed income. And you can save a lot of money shopping at Aldi's. And she don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that. You know, when Aldi's first came out, there was a marketing campaign. They kind of throw mud on them. All these food ain't quality food. And you buying cheap stuff and all. I'm not going to get into that one day. I'll do a whole video on that because I spent 11 years in the grocery food chain. I worked in one of the largest food chains in the country for over 13 years. So I know a little bit about marketing when it comes to grocery and prices and things of that nature. And I'll dedicate a whole video on that another day. But, you know, there's nothing wrong with all these food. You know, you can see a substantial savings when you go there. When you spend $50 worth of grocery, that's like $120 somewhere else. Because I went to a stock-up store and my wife wanted to pick up a few things, so I picked them up and I paid for it. It was $98. I'm like, ain't shit in this card. You know, it's like, okay, I know I go to Aldi's from now, you know. But so I told her I'll do that for you. You know, I can give you one day out the month, you know, and you'll save a lot of money, you know. So she's like, cool, thank you. So when she got, you know, her, I guess they call them link cards. When she got a link card, because again, I know she's on a tight budget, you know. And Joe died, so that was half of the rent. So now she's shouldering the financial load for everything since Joe is no longer there, you know. So again, I'm aware of that, and I try to do the best I can to help out when I can. So I picked her up yesterday. We went to Aldi's, and before we got to Aldi's, Jules is close. She said, "Can we go there? Because there's some things out there." I'm like, "No problem. You know, we go here first, then we go to Aldi's, and then we go home." You know, so we went there. I sat in the lot burning gas. So then I went to Aldi's and I did a little shopping too. You know, so I'm like, you know, I'm not coming back. We can do all this together. You shop, I shop. So, and she made this statement to me. Well, you know, I'm not gonna buy a lot because you know, the money's kind of tight. I'm like, you just got your card yesterday. You know, but that was the indication, I guess. Perhaps they cut her stamps, or, you know, she just don't have a lot of money. I don't know. I'm not in her financial business. You know, so we went in there. I'm shopping. She's shopping. And I picked up a few things, and one was ice cream cones. You know, my wife loves those. So she came up to me, and she said something, but the tail end I heard was this. Can we go to Walt's? I'm like, no, Darlene. I mean, I've already taken you to 2 stores, and Walt's is in another city. You know, and I'm like, I'm not burning all this gas for you to get 10 items when you can get all your shit here. You're just like, come on, man. You know, I'm going to drive way over there for you to pick up 2 items. You know, and that triggered a memory when I was younger, and I can't recall who it was, but it's like you got people that want to shop, and you taking them, and they want to go 6 places when they can go to 1 or 2 and call it a day. And I'm like, I'm not going way to that other city to grocery store number 3 for you to get 2 items while I'm burning out my gas, you know? So I said to myself, that's kind of nervy, because I'm like, someone else is doing this for you. Be considerate of them doing this for you instead of, I'm going to take advantage of this. I'm going to go here, 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 I'm going to go here. No mention of gas money. And I don't want anything from her, but I'm like, be sensible now. You know, you ain't got to go to 3 grocery stores to get you do your shopping. And I noticed what she picked up at Aldi's was only like 5 items. I'm like, you should be stocking up, you know, instead of you go buy 5 items and then about a week later you need to go back to the store. Pack up, get your stuff now. Let's get all this stuff now so you don't have to come back until you replenish the grocery that you purchased instead of just 5 items, you know. But, you know, I found that to be kind of interesting because, like I said, my mother would have never even asked me for that. And she knows she could ask me for anything. But you got other people that are not related to you. I'm take advantage. I'm going to go here. Because, again, when I took it to the bank, I'm like, that was just our schedule agreement. You know, now she's talking about she's hungry. I'm like, why do I need to hear this? And I want to go here. I'm like, okay. But I'm going to stop that in its tracks because if, you know, and I'm sure I'm going to experience this again like I did with my neighbor. You know, he came for a loan. I said, man, just keep it. His wife shows up 20 minutes later begging for money. Keep it. And that was my way of saying keep it so there'd be no reason for you to come back. In less than 6 days, they was ringing my back door again. I'm like, come on now. So I had to tell them, like, I'm going to give you 15 again to keep, but please don't come back because I'm not the money store. You know, I barely even know you. I know you on how you doing good morning basis, and that's it. You know, so I think the guy who lives across the alley from me who moved, who's really a good friend of mine. I enjoyed chatting with him. He's a good neighbor. He moved, and I think now the guy across the street from him, which is the guy that came to my back door, used to hit him up for money. But now since he's not there, he's going to designate me as the next guy. I'm not going to be the next guy, okay? I gave you, what, over $50. $50. And I told you didn't have to pay it back, you know, between you and your wife, so please don't come back. You know, I'm not in a situation to give everybody in the neighborhood money, you know? So I'm like, okay, let's not wear this out. But you got some people that are wear it out and you have to tell them, you know, so that's that. And then here's the other observation. Lately, I've been buying stuff from people off of eBay or Revert. They won't even check that shit. I mean, when I sell you guys guitars, I mean, the first thing I do is make sure that there's no issues with the fretboard, no dead spots or it's buzzing, you know, or anything, or the volume or whatever. Because I had one guitar that had some crackling in the volume because it was just dust. Once you blow out those pots, it'll go away. And that's because apparently the guy that sold it to me, it was his father who died. So he never played it. So that's understandable. I noticed that it mentioned that. So it's like, okay, this is the issue that it has. It's nothing major. Just blow out the pots. And after a while of turning it, that dust will go away. So you're aware of that. Do you want it still? Yeah, thanks for telling me. You know, so now I know this is an issue, but it's a minor one. And if you decide, no, I don't want that, that's cool, you know, because I've given you the information you need to know to make your decision. So I get a guitar from Reverb about a week ago, and this is the most I spent on the guitar in a while, but I just had to have it. I spent over $400. And there was no mention. It said it was brand new, never really been played. He still had the tag hanging from it. So I bet it comes here, dead spots all over the place. What the fuck? So I immediately, because now I'm making a habit of when I get something the same day tested, do my evaluation. Okay, it's good to go. I'm going to keep it. Or it's going back. So I contacted him a couple hours after I opened it up. I said, there's spots, dead spots all over this, man. And there was no mention of that. And I paid too much for this, you know. So I said, I'm going to send this back for my refund. He denied it. I'm like, okay, I've been through this several times with the people on Reverb. The people that sell stuff that say no returns think that that's final. No, it ain't. So, you know, he was in for a rude awakening. I contacted Reverb that same day, same night. And I said, I bought this. It wasn't as described. It's dead spots all over the fretboard. I want to send it back. He denied it. They said, not a problem. We'll take care of you. They said, you know, create a video showing us the problem with it, which I did and posted on my other channel. And I said, there was no mention of dead spots. Matter of fact, he said it was brand new, never been played. So his response when I sent him that was this nonsense. Because I said, hey, there are dead spots all over this guitar and it wasn't as described. I'm going to have to send it back. And he said almost verbatim, and I quote, well, it came from the factory like that. I don't care. There's a problem. And apparently you didn't even check your guitar. And then this was the killer. This is just a regular blah, blah, blah. This ain't custom shop guitar. What does that got to do with this? So that response let me know he knows shit about guitars. Because it's like, dude, I don't care where it came from like this. I don't care if it's not this model, but the shit is not working and it wasn't as described. So I contacted Reverb. They say post a video. So they on in the process of refunding my money because it's two tiers. The first person that worked with me said, yeah, I'm gonna ask the seller to send back send your refund and you ship this guitar back. If he ignores it, then we escalate it to disputes group department. So he ignored it apparently because he think I ain't going to respond and I'm gonna keep this money. I can't count on one hand how many times I've been through this because people think that they're going to keep your money when they send you some fucked up shit, and that's fine. No, it ain't. I'm like, I got two recourses. If Reverb don't deal with it, which they will, because the only time I didn't get a refund is when I waited one time for an item. I let it sit in the box for like a whole month. Then I tested it, wasn't to my liking. Then I couldn't send it back because the time it expired. But I contacted them the very same day to say, hey, this is an issue. So if for some bizarre reason, which I'm 100% sure they're going to deal with him, if they fall flat on me, I go back to the people that originally sent the money on my behalf, which is PayPal. I never use anything when I'm paying for stuff like on Reverb, eBay, nothing but PayPal. Because I know if it goes foul, that I can quickly contact PayPal and they will deal with this. They would deal with this and I'll get my money back. So I'm like, I'm not worried. I'm two tiers deep, and with someone representing me on my behalf and not gonna let me get scammed, So it was just ridiculous that this guy think he's gonna keep my money. I'm like, I'm just waiting another 3 days. They'll tell me, okay, ship it back. Here's the label. You ain't got to pay for shipping, and you get your money back when it gets there. So this guy didn't test the guitar. It's like, how much effort does it take to just run your fingers down there and play with the knobs? Okay, the knobs working, there's no buzzing, But he's not a guitar player. I had one guy when I asked him on Reverb, because I get this only on Reverb. People that's selling shit, it ain't guitar players or won't go consult guitar players. I asked the guy, I said, how's the action? Well, to be honest with you, I don't even know what that means. Have a good day. Another guy, how's the action? Well, I haven't played in a long time, and I haven't played in a long time. Well, play the damn guitar and test it. What the fuck is this? You're going to sell something that you haven't even tested. Because the guy on eBay with the PC didn't test it. The headphone jack was not working. So I'm like, these are things that can be easily tested. And if I didn't mention the PC, because maybe I just jumped the gun here, the guy sold me a PC. It comes here yesterday and head jack ain't working. You couldn't test that? Most of us who have laptops, we put them on our laps, lay across the bed or an easy chair, put our headphones on and go to YouTube or any other place that you need volume. So I don't know why you didn't test it. It's like, come on, man, really? And I'm contemplating, but I'm not going to do it. I'm like, once I get my fucking money returned, I'm going to give you negative feedback. And this is not because I'm being spiteful. I'm being truthful. And everybody else needs to know that you don't test your shit when you sell it. That's the only reason why I'm considering doing that. But depending on how quickly I get my money, I might not do that. But I'm like, I'm getting sick of this people selling me shit and not testing it. And we ain't talking about thorough testing and all taking stuff. Test the headphone jacks. Make sure that no fret buzzing on the neck. And if it is, let people know, So, okay, I'm going to mention this again briefly, then I'm going to touch on the last thing. And this actually I did in my last observation, but I didn't word it properly. I call it the parking fool incident. When I told you guys, I pull into the parking lot of the pawn shop and I see this guy just on me. And I put a little gas up because I don't let nobody get close to me. I'm like, keep your distance, man. So I speed up a little bit to kind of give us a little more space because I'm about to park. And anybody that drives knows this. You're pulling into a parking lot and there's a guy in front of you. He's about to park. So, and especially if it's a small parking lot and you got to be close to this guy, or he had to be close to you, that you wait. You kind of put your brakes on and let this guy park. Park, bag in. He's done, and then you make your move. What pissed me off about this incident was this guy didn't do that. I'm trying to park because I still see him kind of up on me. So I'm like, let me hurry up and park because I was going to park in a space closest before I move further. But I'm like, no, because I want to get this guy off me. So I'm going to go as far as I can to the end where, I'm hoping to shake him. He parked somewhere down a couple of rows. So as I'm trying to finish my park, because I'm a little rushed again because I got this fool behind me. So I pulled, I drove up and then I bagged in, but I didn't bag in. I bagged in a little too close to the other car that was already parked because, again, this guy's on my ass. So I had to pull back out to straighten it out. And as I'm pulling out, because the guy see me trying to finish the part, his ass going to start his part. Now he's in front of my car. And I'm like, what the fuck? So then after he passed me, I just drove away. I'm like, I don't want to be close to this guy. Then he had the nerve to tell me when, he parked and I parked, you was kind of close there. What the fuck? You in my fucking way, man. You have a good day, man. Matter of fact, have a shitty day and get out of my face. So that pissed me off. And my wife seen it because I told her, I said, now you see what I experience when I drive? She said, yeah. There were people that were running stop signs, people that were zooming around us, and I don't drive like an OC now do. I comply with the rules of the road and the speed of the speed I was supposed to be driving. And then you had cars that they won't use their turn signals. She said, man, I said, yeah, this is what I got to go through when I drive every day. People forget to use their turn signal, or this is my favorite one. We're sitting at the light, you at the first of the light, I'm behind you. You don't have no signal on to indicate you going left or right, which means by the rules of the road, you're proceeding to go straight. Soon as the light turn, then you put your signal on. It's like, couldn't you have done that when you sat there waiting for the light? Instead of this last minute in real time, I'm turning this way. I'm turning this way. I don't get it. Excuse me. So I'm going to finish it off with this. And I'm going to try to speed this up. I did a video about a week ago called Please Don't Contact Me. I'm a very busy man, and I don't have 5 days to do a correspondence with you that could have been wrapped up in a correspondence and a half. You inquire about something, I respond usually within the same day, the next day, no later. I give you the information, then you execute the command. That just takes 2 correspondence. The inquiry from you, then my response from you, and based on the response, you go into action. Instead of 7-8 days of back and forth with this, when my first initial response for you cleared up everything. So what else do you need? I've given you everything you need to do this, and then we still doing this. I don't have time for that. So one guy, we went back and forth, and I said, you know what, I'm going to have to block him because, I try my best to respond to you guys, but I don't have time to sit here and do 7 correspondence when it's not necessary, It's not necessary. I believe in handling the business in a timely manner because that's how my daddy taught me. Don't drag feet. Don't have nobody come looking for you, because they paid you and you ain't gave them their stuff. Whenever PayPal, whenever YouTube sends me a notification, I'm on it the same day. Now, sometimes they don't send notifications. I just happen to find sometimes inquiries, so that's not me dragging feet. I never got a notification because YouTube's getting real lazy now and real sloppy. They didn't remove the published date, which is ridiculous because a lot of these videos are time sensitive and you want to know when were they posted and if this information is still fresh and still this shit was posted 2 years ago. I guess no need asking this dude now or requesting something. And then also with the views now, once you get a few of them, you can't read it anymore because they got all this unnecessary shit running across the column now. Clip, save, download. It's like half of that stuff is it's not applicable. I can't use this, but you got to hear anyway. So fine, create 2 fucking columns down here. Still a 1 and in the place that says save, it's running off the video. It's over in this other left-hand section. They're just being lazy and they don't want the subscribers to know their account because they don't want to pay us. Now you don't know how many views you got when you watch the live video. Only time you can view that is when you go to your own channel and see the videos, But it's like all this shit is done deliberately. You put this other garbage up here that ain't necessary, but yet you remove the two things that are necessary to the viewers and the subscriber holder, you know? Yeah, I would like to know how many views I got here. I would like to know when these videos were posted. Some of the videos I've done, you know, it's been years. I'm like, I don't remember what year I posted this. Thanks to YouTube, because they didn't remove the publishing date, which makes no fucking sense. None at all. You know, it's only to their benefit, and they don't realize that we know that, and they on some bullshit, and they think you stupid, you know? So it's just so messed up that you got people that won't do the right thing, and they're trying to be deceitful and deceptive, you know, deliberately, like they don't know that you know this. But getting back, so I had to block that guy because I'm like, I don't know what else to tell you, man. Let's do this instead of you just still sending me messages. And I don't have time to fill comments that don't need to be filled. I'm like, I explained this in two comments ago, you know? So, well, I'm not going to go into the whole end of that story. Oh, should I? Yeah, I'm going to do that. So I blocked him because I'm like, I ain't got time for this, man. I'm a very busy guy, and it's not fair to the other people that want to, you know, utilize my service that now I got to stall on you because I try to do this in the sequence. So, you know, it's done. It's done. It's still, this is not done, but I'm working on this. I got another one coming in. I'm trying to work on that, but this is not done. I still ain't got that. I don't do that. You know, you send your inquiry. I send you what you need to know. We execute the transaction, whatever you want to buy. We're done. I go to the next guy. We're done. None of this, still ain't got no word from him. And all this sometime for $20, $30. And I told you how I feel about that because I guess some people need to hear this. I'm doing this for you. $25 don't do shit for Morris, man. You know, I make a really good living doing what I do musically. And I don't have to do this. And people ask me, well, you're doing it if you're only getting 25 here and 200 here. Just to help you. You know, and some people can't figure that out. It's like, well, damn, he don't need it. So apparently it's to help us. You know, there's some people thinking, you know, I'm here for $25. I'm here waiting around all day to finish this 20. Come on now. You know, this has to be said for those people that don't get it. But 80-90% of the people get it. Say, I get it, Morris, man, and thank you. And the people that get it let me know that, and they thank me. You know, instead of people thinking that one guy, you know, he seen an old video, and that's why I hate they removed the publishing date, and he think, oh, it's still $15. That was 8 years ago. And then when you inquire, so it's going to be $5 more, $5 whole dollars. Well, I don't think it's fair because your video said da. So we're going to argue, two grown men going to argue over $5? Dude, you know what? Keep that $5 and keep going, okay? Because you're not going to find a professional musician that's going to help you like this. All I'm going to tell you this. Dude, I'm making $200 in the studio for an hour's worth of work. I don't have 2 hours to give you for $25. Figure it out. You know, do the math, you know. You know, so I'm like, here's your $5, dude. Send him on his way. And then he got mad and tried to go to PayPal 2 months later claiming that I didn't send him his money back, which is ridiculous. PayPal got documentations all day long to prove it. I'm like, I sent this dude money back on July the 5th. You know, check it. They're just like, yeah, you did. Case closed. It's like, and that was just based out of spite. I'm mad at him because, you know, I didn't get what I wanted. You know, you could have got what you wanted, but $5 to help you, just shit. $5 don't do shit for me. 25 don't do shit for me. You know, so I appreciate whatever I get to help you guys. I do, but I just want to make it clear that I'm not here for $25. You know, I'm not here all day waiting for dudes for $25. You know, so I blocked him because I'm like, we done here, man. You can't make your mind up, but I ain't got time. So he actually bought the product. I'm like, okay, cool. So he sent me the money, and then in the message box, this is for this. No address. How do you think I'm going to ship this, man? PayPal don't have this information, and why didn't you include it? So now I contacted him the same day on the 9th of August saying, hey, I got your money. Thank you. I need your shipping address so I can get this out tomorrow because I don't drag feet. It goes out the next business day. So 2 days later, still no reply from him. So I sent him another one. I still need your address, man. 3 days later, I had to contact PayPal. I'm like, look, I got to get some product for me. I need a shipping address. Do you have it so I can get this out of here instead of sitting on this for 6 days? And the lady said, hold on, I'm going to call him right now and get this information. I said, thank you. She came back. I got voicemail, so I left him a message. That was 2 days ago. You think he called him and said, oh, okay, I'm sorry, here it is. 2 days later, I still ain't got nothing. Now, here's the issue with that. That's not a problem with sending the money back, but I'm going to have a problem with this because of this.